What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to be talking about 5 early symptoms of anxiety. Go ahead and smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you could relate with any of these 5 early symptoms of anxiety. Guys, remember, if you are overly symptom focused and you're tired of these symptoms, I do have a course down in the description and in the first pinned comment. Is step by step on how I was able to actually shut these symptoms off. It takes a certain strategy. Obviously, it's going to take consistency and patience, but that course will run you through that whole process. So if you deal with these symptoms, you want them to stop, that course is for you. So I encourage you to go grab that, guys. So with the 5 early symptoms of anxiety, obviously this is not going to apply to every single person. I identified with these, and the funny thing is, guys, I thought when I had my first major panic attack, that was it, right? I didn't really, it's like I forgot all of these things that had started to pop up. Go back and you start to think about what it was like right before that panic attack or that anxiety attack, or when the first major symptoms appeared. There's a good chance you're going to find some evidence of a few of these things. So the couple months leading up to that panic attack, my subconscious was starting to get a little bit restless, and that's where I'm going to start. The first one is restlessness and nightmares. Okay, I was having more trouble falling asleep at night, and this is a big problem because then I turned to alcohol even more so than I already was. I was relying heavily on alcohol to fall asleep. If I wasn't really drinking a ton, I would lay there, my mind would race. Sure, some of this had to do with my issues with alcohol, but some of it was I was starting to drink more and more and more to numb my negative thoughts, because I wasn't happy with where I was in life at that time. I knew I was doing things I shouldn't do. I knew I should have been further along in my life. I wasn't going to college anymore. Just things were not what they were supposed to be for me. At least that's what I thought. So at night I would lay there, stare at the ceiling, and hoped and prayed to fall asleep, and it was very, very difficult. And this is, weeks and months before I had my first major panic attack. So I would just drink. The other thing is nightmares, right? I don't know if you guys dealt with this, but I had a lot of nightmares in the beginning of my anxiety and prior to, and it was just a foreshadowing of things to come, because my subconscious was really upset, and the subconscious is very dominant when you're sleeping. So it's going to let you know through your dreams the state of your mind, the state of itself, right? The subconscious. So it obviously wasn't happy. So I was having a lot of vivid nightmares, borderline like night terrors. I had sleep paralysis, so I'd wake up and my body would just be completely dead, right? And that's terrifying. So I had more occasions of that. I did a little bit more sleepwalking during that period of time. And it's not just being restless, it's also being able to stay asleep. So I would wake up many times throughout the night. And it's so funny, you forget about this stuff whenever you have like that first major panic attack. You think that's the beginning of everything, whenever there's usually stuff that had been foreshadowing this for some time. So the restlessness, the nightmares, that's one of the first signs that your subconscious is not happy. The next one, guys, is brain fog. Brain fog is a big one. It's very broad, right? So there's a lot of things that can fit into that major category. We're talking about concentration issues, short-term memory issues. It's hard for you to put a name with a face, remember a familiar movie or an address, or there's a famous person and you forgot who it was, and you're having brain farts all the time when you're trying to have conversations with people. Right in the middle of a conversation, you're like, dang, I lost track of what I was going to say. And this means that your mind is somewhere else. It's occupied with something else, usually worrisome thoughts or negativity. Just the overall state of your mind starts to go down when you get more and more anxious. And of course, brain fog for me got much, much worse once my anxiety disorder kicked in, and everything was really, really extreme. Actually had me worried about quite a few different things. I thought I was losing my mind, first of all, or I thought I had like a brain tumor or something was wrong with me, because I was very forgetful. It was hard for me to hold a conversation. It was hard for me to remember simple things or to concentrate. So brain fog is a big one. Then the third one, guys, is excessive yawning. And I know this is a weird one, but I was noticing that I was doing this a lot. And there's a couple different theories on why this could be happening. One of them is just when you're starting to get more anxious, the tension starts to build up. And I think that's what was happening to me months leading up to this first panic attack. The tension was slightly and very slowly building. And whenever that happens, your breathing cavity is restricted. You breathe more shallow. Your diaphragm is more restricted, so it's just hard to get that deep breath. So I was always chasing that really good, satisfying breath. I know many of you know what I'm talking about. I've made a video just about this, but you try to get that satisfying deep breath, right? And yawning is usually the best way to attain that. Also, there's some evidence showing that yawning can help cool down your body temperature when anxiety raises that up. So if you're constantly yawning, maybe you're trying to constantly lower the body temperature. So there's a couple different theories to that. And with some of these symptoms, guys, there's still a lot of mystery on why anxiety causes this. The next one, guys, was a really big one that was leading up to my first panic attack, and that was a faster heart rate. I was starting to become more conscious of my heartbeat. And I remember this was happening straight up like 2 or 3 months before my major panic attack. It was already building the worrisome thoughts about a heart issue or a heart problem. It was already brewing. So when I had my first panic attack, that was my first assumption. And then I jumped on Google, and of course, Dr. Google told me I was having a heart attack. But I noticed that my heart rate was, just a little faster than normal, and I was starting to concentrate on it. And you know how it goes. When you start to concentrate on a symptom, it magnifies, it gets worse, it intensifies. And I think I was, basically building my heart rate up for a couple months before I had that major panic attack. So faster heart rate, obviously your body's trying to pump more blood and oxygen to other parts of your body so you can either fight or run away from something, right? Hence fight or flight. So a faster heart rate is it's basically trying to keep you safe and prepare you for danger, whether it's there or not, right? And then with anxiety, usually there's not a real danger there. There was nothing right in front of me threatening me to make my heart go faster. It was just anxiety. The last one, guys, is general fatigue. When you start to get more anxious, the tension builds. It makes you tired physically. And like I said, with the brain fog, that's some evidence of some mental fatigue, right? Whenever you're mentally exhausted, it turns into physical exhaustion, and then vice versa. When you're fatigued as far as your muscles go, it transfers to mental exhaustion. So a lot of this is due to tension, from being anxious for being uptight, right? To fight or run away from something usually. It's kind of like you're running a marathon every single day, except you're sitting still. That's how much of an effect this tension and constant tension can have on your body. So guys, those are 5 early symptoms of anxiety, things that I really wasn't picking up on. I mean, I noticed them, but I didn't think there was something around the corner like a major panic attack, right? And if I would have known that was on its way, I definitely would have gotten this corrected early. So if you notice this with any of your friends or family or with yourself, start addressing these things now before you develop something like panic disorder. It gets a lot harder after that. There's a lot more fear involved, a lot more symptoms, and that's what I dealt with for years. So the idea is to catch this early and catch it earlier than I did. Just my advice. And of course, these symptoms, they're not just early symptoms. They can be symptoms that you've been dealing with for years. And I dealt with these continuously, but they just got progressively worse until I started my recovery. So guys, if you're interested in recovery, if you're interested in getting rid of some of these symptoms, please try out my course. It'll help change your perception on not only anxiety itself, but on what these symptoms actually are. And you get a bunch of tools and strategy. Just remember, it's in the first spin comment and in the description. But guys, I hope you got value. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and got value. And if you have made it this far, in the comment section, go down there in all caps, put "Let's kick anxiety in the butt." All right, put that down below. Let's kick anxiety in the butt, in all caps in the comment section. Guys, subscribe if you're new here. Please hit the bell if you would like to receive updates when I put these videos out. Tons of other resources, including online therapy, coaching info with me is also down there. Check that out. I love you guys, and until next time, keep fighting.